Hi, Mike Moore here, your Lightspeed litigator, breaking down decades of trial experience to provide you with quick and useful insights that can help you win. Today I'm hiking, as you can see. It's in the breathtaking Verde River Valley in north central Arizona, and seeing and hearing the flowing of the water inspired in me my recollection about timelines and the use of timelines in plaintiffs' cases. Now, facts don't persuade, as we know. Meaning persuades. And the use of a visual aid and timeline is profoundly important in organizing the facts in a manner which conveys meaning to the jury from the very outset of the case, without eliciting an objection that you are arguing. You can use a timeline for choice of facts and the choice of how those facts go into your timeline that will not only allow the jury comprehension immediately, but also can convey emotion. And such emotions as anger, shock, pity, can color the jury's thinking throughout the rest of the case. Now, here's an example. John, a young man just out of the Navy, suffered a devastating injury to his dominant right hand when it was crushed in the closing hopper doors of a machine called a Banbury oven. It's a rubber machine. Now, the original designer manufacturer of that machine was long gone. The machine was over 50 years old. It had no electrical or mechanical defects that caused those hopper doors to close. They were closed because a worker on the other side of the machine, where the control panel is, had hit the switch to close the doors, and they closed. Now, my safety expert had determined that the machine was defective because it lacked a safety feature that would have delayed the closing of the doors and sounded a buzzer so that anyone, such as John, working down below in the hopper area, would understand the danger and be able to get out of the way. Now, the facts were much more complicated than that, but we're looking at the only possible defendant here. So, to create a compelling opening statement that would lead to a moral judgment by the jury that the refurbisher was liable in this case to John, I used two converging timelines. And let me demonstrate what those were. And I'm going to show you this converging timeline. So what we're going to do is start out with the timeline for the machine. And I did this on just a flip chart. You can use anyway. So we have here the beginning, which was the manufacture and original sale. We have here where the machine was scrapped. We have here where the company that purchased the scrap machine, refurbished it, and sold it. We have it here being sold to the employer. Very critically here at the very end of the timeline, we have where the technician from the company visited the employer and did not explain to the employer the need for this feature. So then what I did was took another timeline leading up. This is the date of the injury. This is the end of the timelines converging. This is what happened to John. So I started a timeline down here, and it was John's birth. And then it was John's graduation from high school. And then it was John's entering the service. And then it was John's leaving the service and then getting a job at this company and starting work, and boom. So the timelines converged, ending up with the terrible day in John's life. So this then is how it's done, and it can be done using all kinds of devices. But the point is, a timeline does organize those facts immediately. It allows immediate comprehension from the jury, and it can raise that sense of pity, anger, shame, you name it, which you want to color the jury's thinking throughout the rest of the case. Thanks for taking the time today.
Our goal with this series of shortcuts is to start a conversation. Your comments, criticisms, and your own experiences in persuasion are most welcome.